In this video, we'll talk about a sitemap. A sitemap is just basically a list of all the URLs that are on your site. This helps Google and other search engines understand what URLs to crawl. So they can be in three formats. So there's XML, RSS, and text. And generally, the sitemap will consist of all the URLs in a format of location and the last modified date. Now, if you're using something like WordPress, you have a Yoast plugin or all-in-one SEO, these instructions are very similar. You go onto the General tab under Features, click on this question mark under XML, and click on See the XML sitemap. So Yoast automatically creates the sitemap for you. And obviously here it's broken down the main sitemap into 4 different sitemaps: it's core sitemap, event sitemap, paid sitemap, and post sitemap. And then if you go into the, say for an example, the paid sitemap, you can see all the pages on the site. If you go into the core sitemap, you can see all the courses on the site. It also lists the images on that page and when was it last modified. Now, once you have a sitemap up and running, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to submit the sitemap to Google and other search engines. So we'll go into details about how we can submit that to Google. So Google has a portal called Google Search Console. Look up Search Console, and then once you register into the Search Console and verify your property, you could head on to the sitemap tab and just simply paste the sitemap URL and click on submit. Once you've done that, Google will basically, so for example, if I do that now, Google will basically download the sitemap, process it, and tell you how many URLs it's discovered. So in this case, it's 10 URLs. And if you go in further into the sitemap, Google will tell you whether how many URLs individually discovered in each of these pages, and if there were any errors. So you can even further go down into individual sitemaps and click on this button, and Google's obviously indexed your site. Has got all the pages in the index. You can click on the See Index Coverage page to be able to see what's going on with all the URLs on your site. Now, the reason we also have Search Console, and we'll go into a bit of depth about Search Console in the more advanced course, is that you can also see some other stuff like the core web vitals. So how fast is your website, if there are any issues with the website, mobile usability issues, if there are mobile usability issues with your site, or otherwise if they're all okay, page experience. You can even see performance, or what keywords people search for, and how many impressions do those keywords get, and how many clicks do you get from Google Organic, and so on and so forth. But it's extremely important that you have a sitemap on your page, ideally automated so that it automatically updates when you update a page. You want to be able to take that sitemap and go into either Google Webmaster Tools or Bing Webmaster Tools or Yandex or whatever the other search engines you're targeting, and submit them under the sitemap tab. Let Google crawl that sitemap and be able to download all the URLs, and then Google will obviously go ahead and crawl your entire site.